यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसः कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम् कथं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः पापादस्मानिवर्तितुम् कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन. Their thoughts are overpowered by greed, and they see no wrong in annihilating their relatives or raking treachery upon friends. Yet, O Janardhan, why should we, who can clearly see the crime in killing our kindred, not turn away from this sin? Arjun was a proclaimed warrior, but due to his righteous nature, he tried to avoid violence whenever possible. This side of his character is well revealed in an incident that took place towards the end of the Mahabharat war. Duryodhan was badly injured, and only a handful of warriors were remaining on the Kaurava side. Ashwathama was one of them. He wanted to avenge his father Dronacharya and his friend Kaurava's death. He sneaked into the Pandava camp at night while everyone was fast asleep and went on a carnage. Several warriors, including Draupadi's 5 sons, were killed in this attack. The Pandavas, along with Draupadi and Sri Krishna, were away that night. When they returned to the camp, they were devastated. Arjun went after Ashwathama, caught him, and threw him at the feet of Draupadi, who was grieving the death of her young sons. Bhim was raged and wanted to kill Ashwathama right away. But Draupadi was a soft-hearted lady of forgiving nature. She said that Ashwathama was their Guru Drona's son and a Brahmin. Therefore, they should forgive him. Arjun was unsure what to do next and wanted guidance from Sri Krishna, who then said, "A respect-worthy Brahmin must be forgiven, even if he may have temporarily fallen from virtue. But a person who approaches to kill with a lethal weapon must certainly be punished." Arjun understood what the Lord meant. He did not kill Ashwathama. Instead, he cut his Brahmin staff, removed the jewel of immense power from his forehead, and let him go. Arjun was aware that killing one's own relatives was a great sin. He said to Sri Krishna, "Greed has blinded them and they do not realize that it is a great sin to kill their own relatives and friends. But why should we do the same thing when we can avoid this war?" In these verses, Arjun sharpens his ethical argument against the war. He acknowledges that the Kauravas, driven by lobh, that is greed, have become spiritually blind. They can no longer see the moral consequences of destroying their own family or turning against their kin. Their intellects have been hijacked by selfish desire. But Arjun turns the spotlight onto himself and the Pandavas. Even if they don't see the wrong in what they are doing, we do. So how can we, with awareness of the consequences, proceed and commit the same sin? This is a critical point in Arjun's inner reasoning. He sees clarity as a moral responsibility. For him, acting with awareness of wrongdoing is worse than acting in ignorance. Thus, continuing with the war despite knowing its destructive outcome would make him even more culpable than the Kauravas. These verses teach a deep principle of dharma. Awareness increases accountability. When we see clearly what is wrong, we cannot justify action by the ignorance of others. Knowing better demands that we act better. But here lies Arjun's spiritual confusion. He believes that non-action is the righteous path. His compassion and clarity are sincere, but his vision is still clouded by attachment and sorrow, not true detachment. Krishna will later guide him to understand that sometimes action aligned with higher dharma, even if painful, is more righteous than withdrawal out of grief or guilt. Arjun's reasoning here is ethical, compassionate, and thoughtful, yet it is incomplete. He understands the destructive consequences of war, but not yet the transformative power of selfless action guided by divine wisdom. These verses show the sincerity of Arjun's heart but also the limits of moral reasoning without spiritual insight.